Content warning. Echo can be an emotionally intense experience and may not be for everyone. Echo contains themes of an adult nature, including violence, torture, drug usage, and harsh language. Viewer discretion is advised. Also, we are joined in today by Arden.
The emotional support AI.
Yes, because I need it so badly for this. It's crazy. Also, I think. Hello? Oh. The van jostles and teeters as it careens down the dirt road before the turnoff in Wilma Bend. All this bumping and speeding is making my head hurt something fierce all of a sudden. Leo, slow down! The red wolf keeps looking over his shoulder as he drives, as if he's afraid he'll see Clint sprinting behind us. Turn up here. Your place? Yeah, it's the closest. I can't believe we left Chase behind. I told you he bolted out the back door first chance he got. I didn't know City Hall had a back door. There's silence for a moment. I say nothing. I've never seen him get like that before. Who? Clint or Chase? Shut up, Flynn! Fuck you! I feel the pinch on the back of my neck, Jenna having grasped me hard. Enough! I'm serious! I'm reeling forward, managing to wriggle free. Okay. Leo just snarls like a feral tit dirt he is. He's livid and still batshit under Chase's influence. Leo pulls up to into the driveway, and as the van stops, he's already out, storming his way to the door. I need a piss. It's locked. Leo turns the front door handle, and to my surprise, it opens up and steps right in. Or not. I step outside, stretching my limbs. There's not much room in Leo's mommy missile. I like how he calls the minivan a mommy missile. For someone like me. My mind is still buzzing, trying to comprehend everything that just happened. Chase, that fucker. The thing I've been fantasizing about him nonstop for the past goddamn week like a horny 14-year-old. He sabotaged the whole thing, making me look like some kind of calculating sadistic rapist. And nobody else noticed when his face changed? Every time TJ and Jenna pass along beside me, both looking at a mix of worry and exhausted. I wonder how much of his shit they believed. They're so gullible to bullshit coming from a whimpering face, after all. Carl follows suit, clutching his phone in his paws, but not looking at it. Maybe not all of them, though. I shut the car door and head in. I entered the dry heat, and the dry heat feels so good on my scales. I let out a big sigh, taking a moment to just not think for a while and ignore the stares in my direction. Flynn? The moment lasts less than 5 seconds before Jenna interrupts. Yeah? Do you have a landline? We're trying to dial a sheriff, but none of us can get any reception on our phones. It shows bars and every now and then, but then drops shortly after they appear. Do I look like I'm 40? Nobody has landlines these days. You kind of do. I mean, from the back. I resist the urge to ask how, instead of letting out a quick huff of air. Let me check mine. I reach into my pocket. After taking out my phone, I notice the signal bars in the top right are fluctuating wildly, almost blinking. I try to call 911, but nothing goes through. Shit. Not working for you either? I toss my phone on the kitchen island. I'll just get my repeater. Your what? Flynn, seriously? Are you planning on turning this into some kind of Wild West shootout? This is not the time for one of your urban-ass anti-gun lectures. This is my house. Jenna starts up a rebuttal, but I'm already gone. I head down the hallway to the storage closet, opening it and reaching the top shelf. I don't have any small kids to worry about, so I always leave this one loaded just in case. I hear some shuffling behind me. Looking over my shoulder, there's some movement going on in Daxton's room. Ordinarily, I give him his private space and wide-ass berth so that he'll do the same, but underneath the circumstances... Yo! The salamander blinks up at me from his bed. He's draped in a striped blanket, sitting upright and looking a little bit frazzled. Flynn? He looks sidelong, then back to me, then the rifle. The interview went that badly? Fucking terribly. Also, there's a meth head with a gun roaming around town, so I got this just in case. The others are here too. They're eating all your shit probably. Okay. As long as they don't touch my astronaut dried ice cream, it's okay. Too late. By now, Carl's eaten them all. Plus, the box they came in. You know how goats are. Specious. Wait, seriously? The interview didn't go smooth like? I wasn't fucking kidding when I said that. Daxon frowns. I'll talk to my cousin. Maybe make up some excuse or something? You look like shit. What? He blinks and rubs his hand over his smooth face. Oh, yeah. Took a nap and had a real strange sort of vision dream. I've been having a lot of those lately. I noticed a pen and paper in his lap now, plus a notebook filled with rapid scramblings. Sorry. I need to write everything down, otherwise I forget. You know how they are with where after 50 minutes it's all gone but a vague sense of familiarity or the setting and time of day? I don't dream. The salamander blinks. What? I look down the hall. I was joking earlier, but it looks like Carl is straight up digging through our pantry already. Daxon sighs when he realizes I'm not going to explain. Is Chase out there? I talked to him about all this stuff yesterday at the party. What party? The group. They had a cookout thing at Chase's place and Carl invited me along. You didn't know? Fucking figures. I feel a bit like boiling inside, though I keep a straight face. No, I don't care. Also, the Musk shit isn't here. Oh. Can I tell you about it? Look, I don't... It'll just take a minute. Dax, I'm distracted as dick right now. You're distracted by dick? Ass? Are you fucking deaf? No, you're just confusing. Look, I was flying on this airship thing. In your dream? Yeah, but it felt real. I don't feel like I slept at all. It's like I was there. So not a dream. Not a dream. A vision, spirit quest, out-of-body experience, whatever the hell you want to be calling it. I lean my rifle against the doorway, crossing my arms over my chest. I could smell the metal of the cockpit, and I could feel the leather of the chair. I was flying over this giant body of water. I don't think it was the ocean, though. He stares at the tips of his webbed feet poking out from beneath the blanket, as if they would remind him of something. It made me nervous because I wasn't good at swimming. But I'm great at swimming. I'm a goddamn salamander, yeah? Uh-huh. Something went wrong with the pulse drive, and I started losing altitude. Eventually, I hit the water and had to evacuate. Everything just sunk instantly. I didn't have time to grab any gear. It was just me in the middle of the water, no land in sight, and little chance of rescue. The salamander begins to wring his wrist, his tone of his voice serious, despite the absurdity of all of this shit. All I knew how to do was doggy paddle. I remember being really scared and missing home. I tried slipping off my clothing to make myself more buoyant, but it didn't work. I kept looking under the water for some reason, like to see how deep it was. I couldn't see the bottom. It was so dark. Then the top of the water was warm, but even like 5 feet down, it was freezing. I kept trying to pull my legs up because I didn't like them being down in the cold, dark space. It was like I was afraid something was down there. Eventually, though, it hurt my eyes, and I wouldn't stop pushing my head under the water to look, to be sure it was safe. Oh my god, I'm getting cotton mouth. And my face...
fluids.
I am, and my face is vibrating. Give me a second. Oh my god.
Tense. Visual novel vibrations.
He peers up me. Yeah?
Also known as confused, stressed.
Yeah. He peers up at me now, a strange sort of expression on his face I can't really name. Just as it was getting dark, I glanced down into the depths and saw orange and black. It was you. I crossed my arms a little tighter, my frown deepening. You were so far down, I could just barely make out your general shape and your eyes. Your eyes, they were hollow, empty, nothing. Even though I forgot most of the other details, that face stuck with me. I unconsciously rub at my own eyes. Still there, as far as I can see. I was terrified, but there's nowhere I could swim. I was afraid if I started kicking, it would get the thing's attention. Despite everything, after a few minutes, I looked again. At first, it was just empty, and then this huge head just emerged from the depths. No eyes, and a gaping mouth where a muzzle should be. The whole water got cold, and I woke up. Daxton knees at his blanket, looking a mix of deeply uncomfortable and relieved to get this off his chest. Still, I stare blankly at him. I don't have a fucking clue how to react to this. Sounds like something for a head shrink to unpack, cause fuck knows I'm gonna try. Daxton leans his head back against the wall. Thanks anyway. Yep. I look down at the hall again and see Carl chewing on what looks to be dehydrated Neapolitan bar.
What do you need help with?
Carl's eating your shitty ice cream that you like, by the way. What? Oh, god damn it. Carl! The ram stops, his mouth full of crumbly stuff. Blah! Daxton peels off his blanket, marching up to the kitchen in a huff. I sigh, shaking my head, some as I pick up the rifle and plop myself by the window in the dining room. TJ looks most surprised at the weapon in my grasp, the lynx actually stepping back. Jenna puts her phone down and Carl stops apologizing to Daxton. At that moment, Leo steps out the bathroom. He doesn't move, he just looks at the rifle, then me. Oh, what the hell? Are these idiots gonna act like they never see a gun before? For fuck's sake! I bring my rifle to my chest. Y'all don't gotta worry. I just have to shoot you all for... I just have to have this to shoot you all for treating me like shit all these years. I smirk, snickering some. No one else laughs. Even as I peer to Carl, he just looks down at his hooves. It's a fucking joke. I'm joking. You guys are so stupid. Way to go, Flynn. I turn, shifting my focus outside. It's nearly nightfall now. Everything looks normal. There's some smoke way off in the distance, but it's too far to be much of a concern. Just got off the phone with Chase. He's fine? What? You managed to get a call through? Let me see. She walks up to the wolf, and before he has time to react, she swipes it from his grasp. The fox squints at it for a good 5 seconds before handing it back to Leo. This phone's out of battery, Leo. No? Yeah. She sighs. TJ and Carl exchange looks with each other. None of you are making very funny jokes this evening. Let's just make some dinner instead. We're not going to talk about what happened? I'm sorry. Right now, I just want to eat. There's a lot to unpack, and I'm not saying that it shouldn't be, but we can do better than what happened earlier. I find myself actually surprised. I never would have figured I'd hear those words from Jenna, especially with TJ around. Leo, meanwhile, just looks confused. He's frowning to himself, looking around as if lost. Then all of a sudden he blinks once, then smiles. Huh. Food sounds great. For a brief moment, his smile shifts to me and his eyes go ice cold, like a fucking shark. What the hell is his problem? I'm the goddamn victim here. Not that I ever put it like that. I haven't exactly grocery shopped to host a party of... Daxton stops to count us all. 6. The salamander opens the fridge, staring into it as if looking into a particularly deep canyon. We got leftover salad, some fruit, cream cheese. There's frozen bass in the fridge. Not the cream cheese. There's frozen bass in the fridge. I glance over and and a few of them grimace. Of course. We got a blender. Could make some smoothies with the kefir, yogurt, milk, and fruit. Maybe a side salad with it. I mean, I'm assuming y'all been just quaffing down the local diner junk all week, so it might be nice. Carl, TJ, and Jenna exchange looks with each other. Leo, meanwhile, looks to be tapping at his phone, occasionally looking up at the window. That'll work. Thanks, Daxton, and apologies for all of this. I didn't say it was fine. Some of that's my shit. Daxton gives me a dull look. Without further word, he takes out the big bowl of leftover salad and sets it on the counter, along with the grocery bag of fruit. I feel my teeth start to grit, so I shift my focus outside again. Still, no signs of life beyond the usual distant spots of light, each coming and going down the highway around the canyon. The smoke I noticed earlier is rising up near the res. Looks like it billowed higher, though. Despite everything, it's actually sort of nice out. The temperature's okay, with slight light cloud cover that only partially veils the purple-orange hues of the dusky skies. It's the sort of night I'd usually like to spend outside on the porch, drinking tea and whittling some balsa. Daxton's usually quiet, cooped up in his room with his fancy shit. I don't know how I feel about the music he usually has playing, but it's not bad. To think, 30 miles away, Peyton's bustling with 100,000 people all enjoying their Saturday night while we're dealing with whatever happens to Chase, Leo's hallucinating mind, and a crazy meth addict running around with a gun. Hell, back in the day, it used to be a tiny ranching community that served Echo, kept everyone fed and such. 30 miles in the other direction, you've got the res. Population keeps dwindling from that place, too, no matter how much money the feds give them to live there. All the young folk just pack up and get out while they can. The rest generally don't do too hot. Finally, 65 miles to the east, you've got the Jericho Proving Grounds. I remember back when I was 20, a tweeny little jarhead, fussing to my uncle to take me there. They only did tours twice a year, and there's a huge wait list. I had expected there to be a giant hole in the ground the size of Echo Canyon, but there was pretty much nothing. Dust and sediment had filled it all in over the span of 75 years. Dry grass and shrubs that had sprouted on top. All that was left was just a torn up hunk of 3-ton cylinder that burned so hot the metal liquefied and pooled underneath it. You could walk through the site and have no idea that's where the fucking A-bomb was dropped. Well, if it weren't for that big black obelisk they erected up top, which now is just another spot for visitors to take photos of themselves. Man mustn't forget the present. Man mustn't forget the past, for the past will not forget man, it reads. It reminds me of that whole push from the county to make the mine some fucking tourist spot. Just a slap a plaque up there and with a little blurb about all the death and shit, and it'll make a great selfie spot. Traffic is traffic, right? Hell, call it haunted, and you'll get even more weirdos coming here to exploit it. Like Chase. As I hear the background noise of muffled conversation and Daxton trying to figure out how my blender works, the present sinks in. I wonder if he's going to figure his way out before I can get to him. I look over and Daxton's putting a whole fucking apple into a blender. Son bitch, what are you doing? Daxton looks up, struggling to keep the lid as the apple smacks hard against the sides of the... How does this man not know how a blender works? Come on. Come the fuck on. Cut the fucking thing up first. It's not going to take a whole apple. The salamander
Not to mention you don't want the seeds to be ground up.
Oh yeah, that too. Still looks a bit dazed. I guess he's still reeling from his dream or whatever. Uh-huh. Don't just uh-huh me. Do it, you fucking slippery bitch, before you break my shit. Flynn. Jenna's glaring at me from the living room. It's my shit. It's my house. Jesus, man, I'm stopping. He pulls out the lacerated apple, setting it on the paper towel while grumbling. Gosh darn Asperger's and French fries, I swear. What?
Mm-hmm.
I clench my rifle harder at hearing that old A word again. Turning, I make my way down the hall. There's a window in my bedroom. I'll watch there. No one else says anything, at least while I'm still in earshot. I kick aside my hamper and pull open the curtains to peer outside. The view is not as good here, but I don't think I could stand being in there too much longer. I tense, feeling the brush of fur on my arm. Carl's standing next to me, some freeze-dried ice cream in his grasp. Jesus, when did he get so quiet? He doesn't say anything, which puts me in the awkward position of being the one to speak. Fat ass, I mumbled. Carl holds up the ice cream bar, which has a weird wafer-like consistency. I told Dax that I'd give him a bunch of Hedden cartons I got back at my house. Your folks won't mind. They won't notice. I could just say I ate it myself. Yeah, they wouldn't doubt that. There's a light smile on his muzzle now. Right. I blink. You okay? Not really. All this stuff got my mind off the interview, though. I just want to go home and play video games without getting shot. There's a silent pause. Chase. What he said wasn't true. Oh, I know. I let out a sharp exhale, closing my eyes for a second. I let the tip of my repeater rest against the floor. Thank you, though. Or what? Defending me back there at the office. I wanted to defend you, too! The Ram shakes his head dismissively. I don't think you'll see most of them besides Leo again after tomorrow, though. Like you said, none of this matters. The truth does. I guess your spring break hookup with Chase isn't gonna be a long-term thing then, right? I wasn't really expecting that to be brought up. Who told him? Or was it that fucking obvious? He pulls out his phone, seeming to check whether my Wi-Fi is working yet. I grunt, clearing my throat. I just want to know what happened. Dude, if I was Chase, I'd just get in my car and drive back to Pueblo at this point. I don't think he's gonna do that. Why? I locked his ass in the reading room. You did what?
Oh, no. Ooh.
Carl's eyes widened, the Ram reacting much quicker than normal without his usual pot haze. So that's where you went? I think that's a crime, man. So is murder. Dude, this is Chase you're talking about. Yeah? I look awkward, peering at the sorry state of my room at the moment. I usually keep shit tidy, but now there's a dirty laundry all over the place and everything kind of smells musky. Now it's not the time, Comfy. Don't think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Nowhere near as bad as Carl's, but still, I'm just gonna talk to him. No torture or anything, right? Fucking hell, Carl. Do you really think I do that? I'm not Leo. I was just joking. He rolls his shoulder. It feels kind of like when we were kids again. Yeah? With all this stuff. Yeah, I trail off like my mouth is refusing to speak the words in my head. He sets his non-icy ice cream down on my nightstand and I resist the urge to yell at him about crumbs. Meanwhile, Daxton starts at the blender again in the other room. Man, I can think I hear Carl sigh. Do you want like a hug or something? I look down at him, raising a brow. Do you? He shrugs, seeming a mixture of numb and trepidatious. I just don't want you to leave, dude. And like everyone else, it takes me a moment to register the shift in conversation. After everything that's happened, that's what's bothering him the most? The fact that I said I might leave town? Man, we talked about this shit. I know, dude. Carl rubs his jaw and his face with the base of his paws pacing upon the carpeted floor. It suck ass, that's all. Not in a good way either. I fidget with my rifle, acting like I'm doing something with it while I'm trying to think what to say. You be alright. I don't know, you seem to be friendly and up with Dax. He even plays video games and does all that other nerd shit that, like, I don't. You game sometimes. Yeah, only because you do. I guess that's the point, isn't it? He scratches his beanie a bit, and a bit of his head fur peeking out from his horn holes. I say nothing, just watching him go back and forth, back and forth. And
We had theories.
we had theories about things happening right now, so we're gonna see how this goes. I wish he wasn't so nervous. I wish he'd just say it. He's cool. And you're not all anxious around him? I still kind of think I am. You were talking about porn and shit with him within like an hour of your first proper that's just gay shit. That's our gay. That's just conversation. That's normal conversation for the gays.
Gays talk.
It's how we talk. We literally talk about porn. I mean corn. We talk about the cornfields. We talk about cornfields, guys. Oh my god.
This isn't Nebraska.
We're in Nebraska. Within like an hour of your first proper conversation. That's how you can tell you made a good friend. No, that's how you could tell you met another gay man. I put on a smirk. If that was the case, you'd be the most popular guy in the county. Oh, fuck off, bleeder. I snark, regardless. With a shift of my hips, I nudge him with my tail. Stop your treading. You're wearing out that carpet. Sorry. He stops looking down at his hose for a moment, then back up to me. If I say put, I'd probably start sticking to it. Fuck you! I smile, though I try to stifle it.